7,100 towing miles, 7 full months on the road, traveling through 14 western U.S. states, and staying in 35 campsites. Hey friends, welcome back to Grand Adventure. I'm your host, Mark Guido, and 2023 was an amazing year for Grand Adventure. We're going to show you the best of everything we found throughout the entire calendar year in our RV travels, so stay tuned. What can I say other than this was an incredibly successful year for Grand Adventure? We got to camp in some of our favorite campsites in our entire 7 years of RV travel. On top of that, we were successful in chasing 75 to 80 degrees all summer long. We managed to avoid any significant wildfire smoke across the western U.S. Everything just came together and clicked for us this year. And now that we're at the end of the year, it's time for our annual retrospective. Our best of episode when we look back at some of our favorite camping throughout all of 2023. It's one of our most popular episodes of the year. And beyond that, we have as much fun putting this together as we do bringing it to you. Because by putting it together, we get to look back at some of the favorite places that we got to visit. So without further ado, let's get started. We're going to start with the category Best Boondocking. Unlike previous years, though, we found it difficult to separate the best of the best. Deserts differ from mountains, they're different from lakes. It's tough to really narrow it down. So we're going to actually present Best Boondocking in 4 different subcategories. Our favorite riverfront boondocking this year, by far, was along Montana's Boulder River, a tributary of the Yellowstone River that flows north out of the Absaroka Mountains. We camped within feet of the same famed trout stream that formed the backdrop for 2 movies, A River Runs Through It and The Horse Whisperer. Falling asleep each night to the sound of the bubbling brook, this campsite was one of the highlights of our entire 2023 travel season. If you'd like to learn more, we'll link to our full episode 324 from the Boulder River below in the video description. But now, let's turn to best mountain boondocking. Just 2 weeks after leaving the Boulder River, we arrived at this stunning location at an elevation of 7,900 feet in Wyoming's Bighorn National Forest. Views of the central spine of the Bighorn Mountains right from our camp stretch from 11,722-foot Loaf Mountain to 13,167-foot Cloud Peak. Cattle had grazed here, leaving behind what seemed like a manicured lawn. Perfect for spending time with our friends Pat and Dale, who were traveling with us. If you'd like to learn more, we'll link to our full episode 326 from the Bighorn Mountains below in the video description. But now, let's turn to best desert boondocking. Whitney Pocket sits about 30 miles south of Mesquite, Nevada, the last 21 miles of which are on horribly broken paved road. But a campsite at Whitney Pocket within Gold Butte National Monument is well worth the jarring and jostling to set up in one of about a half dozen undesignated campsites at an elevation of 3,000 feet, tucked among the multicolored Aztec sandstone outcroppings and surrounded by Joshua trees, various cacti, and blooming purple sage. This is about as remote as RV camping gets. like to learn more, we'll link to our full episode 307 from Whitney Pocket below in the video description. But for now, we'll turn our attention to our final boondocking category, Best Beach Boondocking. And it's not from where you might think. Beach may not be the first word that comes to mind when you think of landlocked New Mexico, but large lakes sometimes have beaches too. A dam built on the Rio Grande in 1902 formed Elephant Butte Reservoir, the largest man-made lake in New Mexico. A unique feature of Elephant Butte Lake State Park is the ability to boondock, or dispersed camp in your RV, tent, or boat in many areas, including on some of the long sandy beaches along the shoreline. Primitive camping permits here cost $8 per night and includes trash disposal, pit toilets, and access to the state park for fresh water and a dump station. If you'd like to boondock at Elephant Butte Reservoir yourself, we'll put a link to our full episode 333 below in the video description. But if you'd prefer your waterfront camping in a campground, we're going to bring you east to Oklahoma to visit our next award winner. When we come back following a quick ad break, we'll bring you to our favorite lakefront and oceanfront campgrounds and more. So stay tuned. When it comes to waterfront camping, U.S. Army Corps of Engineers campgrounds have few equals. Our first time ever camping in Oklahoma occurred on the shores of Canton Lake in the COE's Big Bend Recreation Area, with its 102 water and electric campsites and 12 dry campsites nestled among the cottonwood, elm, sycamore, maple, oak, and willow trees lining the lakeshore. Our site A27 came with a broad lawn on the patio side leading down to the lake for only $22 per night. you'd like to learn more, we'll link to our full episode 331 from Canton Lake below in the video description. But now, let's take a look at waterfront camping on a grand scale, along the coast of the Pacific Ocean. Our spot at Ocean Cove Store and Campground on California's Sonoma coast easily ranks as one of the most spectacular oceanfront campsites we've found anywhere. Ocean Cove isn't set up like a typical campground. Instead of conventional sites with driveways, the proprietors have simply placed over 100 picnic tables and fire rings at various spots throughout the property, and each one constitutes a dry campsite. All spots are first come, first served and cost $40 per night cash or $45 per night if paying by credit card. Situated on this tiny peninsula, surrounded on three sides by crashing Pacific Ocean waves, this spot was positively amazing. If you'd like to learn more, we'll link to our full episode 311 from the Sonoma coast below in the video description. To escape holiday crowds, we've sometimes turned to Hip Camp for a spot on private property, as we did this past July 4th weekend. At Timber Sands, on Oregon's Tillamook coast, our host Jesse provided a welcome dry camping respite from the teeming masses on the dunes, just a mile or two down the road at Sand Lake. you'd like to learn more, we'll link to our full episode 316 from Oregon's 3 Capes below in the video description. But if you think Timber Sands was relaxing, wait until you see our next award winner. Following another quick ad break to pay the bills, we'll bring you to our favorite spot to relax in 2023, as well as our favorite full hookup RV resort and our favorite campsite for sightseeing. So stay tuned. When traveling by RV, you don't always need a lot to see and do. Sometimes the campground is just so beautiful, you instead want nothing more than to kick back and relax. Such was the case for us at Medicine Creek State Recreation Area in Nebraska. Out in the farmland 75 miles southeast of North Platte sits Medicine Creek Reservoir, and the state's Shady Bay Campground lies right on its shoreline. During our late September visit, we practically had the campground to ourselves to relax beneath giant cottonwood trees shading our waterfront campsite, and sip a cocktail, toss the ball for Zoe, and just plain relax. If you'd like to learn more, we'll link to our full episode 329 from Medicine Creek below in the video description. But what if you want full hookups? That's where our next category winner comes in. Our most luxurious full hookup campsite of the entire year came near the very end of our travel season in California's Anza Borrego Desert. The Springs at Borrego RV and Golf Resort is a lush RV park with extensive facilities, for a bargain by California standards at $59 per night during our visit. Lining the fairways of its own golf course, this RV resort also features a large swimming pool and 4 individual mineral water hot tubs, tennis courts, several dog parks, and gorgeous landscape. you'd like to learn more, we'll link to our full episode 336 from the Anza Borrego Desert. But if sightseeing is your thing, you'll want to pay close attention to our last category winner. Sightseeing means different things to different people. For us, there was nothing special about our RV spot at the LeConner Marina, operated by Washington State's Port of Skagit. Instead, what made our stop for episode 319 special to us was the charming tiny town of LeConner, the entirety of which was just a short half-mile walk from our campsite. Waterfront restaurants, bars, shops, boutiques, and museums were just a short stumble away from the Marina campground. If you'd like to learn more, we'll link to our full episode 319 from LeConner below in the video description. So we truly hope that you've enjoyed looking back on our 2023 as much as we've enjoyed looking back on our 2023. If you'd like more information about any of these specific locations, go down below to the video description. That's where we will have links to each individual episode so you can learn more. While you're down below, that's where you'll find the comments section where we always love to hear from you after each grand adventure, which we premiere every Wednesday evening. We'd be truly honored if you shared the channel with your friends, family, and on social media. Understand, it's extremely important to us that if you like this episode, please be sure to give us a big thumbs up down below. But if you're not yet a grand adventurer yourself, now is the perfect time for you to go smash that little subscribe button right down there in the lower right-hand corner of your screen. And ring that notification bell to be sure that you never miss a grand adventure. Now that we're stationary in Utah for the winter months to enjoy ski season, we'll still be bringing you episodes every Wednesday. We'll be bringing you along, for example, down to the Q24 rally later in January, where we're fortunate enough to be co-hosting in Quartzsite, Arizona. But other than the occasional travel episode, what we'll be doing through the winter months is our usual assortment of how-tos, product reviews, and things of that nature until we get back on the road this spring. So until next Wednesday, please remember life is nothing but a great adventure. We'll see you then.